Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck and this is Riverview episode 6. And as you can see, it's still raining out on the farm. I'm continuing to cultivate down here on field 7, and I've got, I believe, the subsoiler going on field 8 on a worker. We're waiting for this rain to stop before we can start planting again, so we've got our other tractor with the planter parked up. But the rain is supposed to stop here at 1 o'clock or sometime in the 1 o'clock hour. So by the time I'm done cultivating this field, hopefully that rain will have stopped and we can get that planter going again. And then we need to take a look and see what else we might need to do on the farm today as well. I'm pretty sure our chickens are okay, and our cows are probably fine too, but we don't have any hay stored up for them. So we might need to look at mowing again, although it's been raining all morning, so maybe that'll be a September 2nd job, or excuse me, an October 1st job instead of a September 2nd job. And, you know, they might need some more hay, which we should still have some in the forage harvester, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something we can look at as well. And, yep, like clockwork, the rain just stopped. So once we finish this row, we're going to pause for a second. And we'll lift this up. Let's switch over to here. And I don't think we have time to get both of these fields planted today. Oh, it's not lifted up. No wonder I was driving so slow. Well, that would have certainly messed up the grass there. And yeah, it is hard to see the difference between this subsoiled ground and where we've planted, but you can see the rows there if I turn all my lights on like so. We're just going to get lined up. And the bigger thing is we need to make sure to turn this back to wheat, so we're not planting a tiny strip of barley and then wheat on the rest of this field like so. So let's cycle through all the different crops back to wheat. And I'm pretty sure wheat is what we planted before, but I should probably double check that as well, just to avoid any unnecessary mistakes. So yeah, wheat on that strip, barley on this strip here, and the workers going here on number 8, getting the rest of this made into a seed bed. Like I said, we can only plant probably one field today and this afternoon, so we're going to go ahead and get the worker started here planting the wheat and have him try to catch up to this worker who's running the subsoiler for us. We'll be done here in a second. But we have to plant wheat and barley by October, so we'll have this one planted here in September. We'll plant field 7. Nope. We'll plant this field in October with the barley, except for that one tiny little test strip we did, which is fine. But that'll be these 2 fields, and then we can work on cleaning up the other 2 fields, 9 and 10, I want to say. The 2 fields just above this one on the map. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the plan, is we'll finish up here. Probably not start subsoiling another field, although we could. I have decided, or at least I think I decided in the last episode, that I'm going to subsoil rather than cultivate for the most part, because I'd rather have a seed bed than a cultivated status, and I believe you get a higher score. Actually, you probably get a worse score for subsoiling, because this is, in order to get that environmental score, which was at 50 for most of our fields higher, you need to not plow, basically. So let me look at that actually. Yeah, see, our field down here is now at 52 environmental score, but our field that we have subsoiled is up to 57. So I think, yeah, we're going to continue to do the subsoiling versus the cultivating. Plowing they really don't like, cultivating they don't like as well. Apparently subsoiling they're better with. So anyway, we're probably going to go with that, and it's a 4 meter, and our planter is a 4 meter, so that kind of works out for us. So we will let kind of those two 4 meter implements work together to get the fields ready. And we're going to go ahead and probably take this Kloss tractor and start mowing. Would be roughly my plan for how to handle preparing the other fields. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You can tell me in the comments below if I got that wrong. Again, I haven't played a ton of precision farming, so I'm just learning about the environmental scores and various things. I did watch a couple of videos on it to make sure I kind of understood what was going on, but and I did play around with it for a couple hours over on the Calmsden farm, but not really enough to get through a full harvest and to see one, if I had harvested a field I'd planted and then I went back, prepped it, and harvested the second time, if I could get that environmental score closer to like 70 or 80. I know that there's multiple things that go in there. If you direct drill as a big one, I just don't have that capability with the equipment that we currently own. And then there's stuff you can do with fertilizing with manure and slurry that I also didn't have an opportunity to do on the Calmsden one when I was just playing around with it. So I'm sure there's more to it than I know, but we're just doing what we can here. And we'll learn together. That's kind of the fun of new expansions and new series like this, is I don't have to know what I'm doing, because we're going to figure it out together, and you're going to maybe see me make some mistakes that I shouldn't have made, but that's how you learn. And that way you, viewer, if you're starting your farm on precision farming, you can go, oh, well, I don't want to do what Chuck did. I'm going to avoid that. So that's sort of the way I'm approaching it. I don't need to be an expert. We're just going to learn these things together, and I learn better by doing. So, yeah. But our worker is done on field 8. And I guess there's no reason we can't turn him up to another field just to start prepping. We'll have to, yeah, let's, not you, we'll take a look at you. So field 9 and 10 here. What do we got going on? I mean, I suppose we'll do them numerically, do 9 next, but let's take a look at the map real quick, because I can't remember if I fertilized these or not. No, so these still need fertilizer. This one's got harvest data. This one doesn't even have harvest data for some reason. And seed rate information we're slowly getting as the planter is starting. So, but we can do exactly what we did on the other fields, is turn them over, then fertilize, then lime, and then plant into that, or something along those lines. So we'll go ahead and start a worker on this, running north and south on this one. And so yeah, that's making a different texture, a seed bed, rather than making cultivated ground like we've been working in before. But we were able to plant into that before, so I'm assuming we'll be able to plant into it up here as well. So And this guy seems to be doing just fine. So let's come back down here and finish this off. And this is, yeah, I mean, this is what post-harvest season looks like. Once you get all your bales off, or at least all the straw off in a forage wagon like we did on this one, you just got to start prepping those fields for the next year. And I think you could even leave, you know, some of them sitting over winter, but I really don't like it when the fields get overrun by weeds in the off season, and then I have to go back and plow those under or whatever, I guess. Subsoil them under would be the term I would use on this farm. I should really check and make sure that's a subsoiler before I continue to sit here and say that we're subsoiling everything in the future. Let me just get these couple of spots that I missed, then come up here and grab this one. Get that as well. So let's take a look at our equipment. Nothing in the sales. I mean, I do like that telehandler, but we already have a telehandler and a wheel loader we need to decide what we're doing with. So nope, garage, sorry about that. Yeah, so subsoiler. So yeah, this is a Kuhn subsoiler 4 meters that we've been running, and it seems to be working well. So I think we're gonna try that in the future. So that's worth 5,000. So let's look at our cultivator. Cultivator is worth 4,000 because it has 35.4 hours on it. Well, I was thinking about selling this cultivator just to make it very clear for myself next time we harvest which piece of equipment I'm supposed to use, because if I don't have it, I'm not going to use it. So that's what I was originally thinking, but now I'm reconsidering that. I think for $4,000, might as well just keep it in case in the future we decide no, cultivating is what we want to do. But I'm gonna stash it somewhere weird just so I don't accidentally grab it next time. So let's run it up here. And even here, oh, there's an extra weight up here. That would have been nice to know. Yeah, the shed's probably fine. Let's just back this in here. Nope. Let's get lined up. Oh, I can't set it down. Fold it up. That's just for driving. I don't know how to do that. So if I fold it up, I certainly can't back it in there. Alright, well, let's pick that up. I lowered it because I thought that's what the message said. I didn't want to lower it when it's all folded up like that. It's running on the concrete. Is not good for your equipment, I'm sure. Alright, well, we're just going to come way up here. And we're going to drop this cultivator in the back of this, where we can unfold it. And just set it down here. Alright. Now that that's taken care of, we've got one field planting, another field subsoiling, and we are done cultivating. We're going to pop down here, grab our mowers, and get busy on making some more hay. Because I think the cows are going to be hungry pretty much all winter, and we don't have the grass for it currently. I mean, we have 54,000 liters in there now, I want to say. But we should probably check that as well. So let's take a look at our animal tab while we're moving forward here. So chickens have about 14,000 liters of feed. That should get 180 chickens to the spring easily. Pardon me while I take a drink of my coffee. Up here, 54,000 liters of hay 1 month, and then here's the 0 month ones we bought in September. But plenty of food for them. Straw, they've still got 36,000. We can maybe fill that up at the end of the episode if we have some extra time. But it would do us well to get a little bit more. Oh, deer everywhere. Jeez. I mean, it's nice to see, but dangerous having those deer just run out in front of you like that. So we're going to drive past this cow shed here. There's where our lime is, and this is, the gate. So this is our second cow shed, or cow field, whatever you want to call it. And this grass is also ready to go, so we're going to get this mowed up today. And I don't think we'll get it tedded today. Nope. Lower. And before we do that, let's back up. And we'll switch to the front, unfold that, and we'll start mowing right here on the edge. Lower that. And we'll pull forward, and then we'll switch those on. And get this mowed up here. And we'll start tedding it probably tomorrow when we're alternating planting that other field with the barley. So that's my rough estimate, is we're gonna need more hay. Those 8 bales that we got off that other field did a good job for us, and they will get us into the winter. But if we don't get this field also made into hay, and we just double the amount of cows that we have in there, we're not gonna make it to spring without having to buy grass or hay or something like that. So we got these 2 fields ready to go. Might as well use them to get started anyway. And we're not making silage or anything yet, because again, we have calves. They're still young. I hope that means they don't eat as much as well, but it certainly means that they don't produce anything. So we don't need 100% effectiveness on them till they're closer to that 12 months when they start producing milk, and then at 18 months when they start reproducing, then we'll need them to be more effective. But by then we will have had a couple more mows of both of these fields, and we might even plant one of our fields into grass as well, to just help out with the feed situation. And then we can start making silage and doing all that. But for this point on our farm, I think the best thing to do would be to just make sure we've got all of this mowed up and ready to go. We're cutting into the entrance a little bit, but that's fine. I'm just going to come over here and do this, get it squared off again. We probably need to mow that other side a little bit better as well, but I like to do a couple of headlands just to make sure. And see, this is that corner that we took before. The one thing about this mower setup is when you're doing the corners like that, you sometimes miss little areas where the front one was supposed to get it, but you turned, so it didn't. So then we're going to do corners kind of like that for a second, just to make sure we get everything squared off. Once I've got a double headland for mowing like this, then it's easy to just run strips up and back. But this kind of second one around, I can see all the errors I made on the first one, like here. So we're going to get that with the right part of this. And we're just going to go this way and level it out as we go, because we're going to try to kind of square that off, because the field's not exactly square, but give us a little bit of room to get clean here. And I know we're not overlapping all the way, but I wanted to just try to square this edge of the field up a little bit and see if I can get this angle without missing too terribly much. And I'm sure I missed a ton on both of these corners down here. Oh, it's dark in this corner. Let me turn those lights all the way up. Let's come over here and make sure we get all this. Like so. We'll back that up. And we'll just come down here. So yeah, I mean, I think the series is going well so far. We got our harvest, we're getting some winter crops planted, so those two fields are working, so we've essentially will have done something on all of our 6 fields before the winter set in, because we mowed each cow pasture once, we harvested the 2 fields that had harvestable crops on them, the wheat and the canola, and we planted the 2 fields that were, I don't know what they were just empty dirt. I felt like they were cultivated when we started, but obviously they weren't, because they didn't have a cultivated status and we weren't able to plant into them. So, but we will have essentially touched all 6 fields that are on this farm and got 2 different sets of animals up and running. Chickens obviously are pretty easy to get going, but cows actually weren't too bad at this point, because we had the straw from the wheat, and we were able to get hay off of these other 2 cow pastures. So I think this will be a good way to sort of move forward. Now what we should do maybe is roll these 2 fields, get a grass roller. Actually, we have a roller. I don't know if it's a grass roller though. Well, that's something else we should probably do, is start rolling behind on the field that we just planted. Ooh, that's an interesting thought. I wonder how much horsepower that roller requires. Alright, let me turn that off, turn that off. The seed guy is doing just fine. He's in fact almost done. Oh, and we already moved this guy up here with the subsoiler. How are you doing? Because if we want to roll that, yeah, field 8 is almost planted, field 9 is relatively subsoiled, and we're up here on field 12, taking away the cultivated status. That's really funny. The 2 fields that were cultivated were the grass fields. That doesn't make sense to me, but regardless, we'll go ahead and take care of that. Yeah, I guess it's getting too dark for us to actually roll those today, so. But getting a grass roller out on this field would be a way to, 1, help fertilize, and 2, get a higher yield for the grass the next time that we did it. We didn't do that on the other cow pasture, so maybe that's too much for the beginning, but that'd be a way to increase the amount of hay we're getting off of these fields as well. Rolling you can also do with crops that you just planted to get an extra 2.5% yield bonus. So I don't normally do it, but if you want to get to that 100%, that's part of the way that you do it, is making sure to roll right after you plant. So in that field that's being planted right now, field 8, that's being planted with wheat, we could go grab our roller and roll over the top of that, and that would, I believe, push some rocks down if we had field stones on, which we don't, but it would also help. And I thought I was going to be able to cut that corner, but I missed it just a little bit. It would help put push field stones back down and give you that extra 2.5% bonus. The other 2.5% comes from making it a seed bed, I think. So there's multiple steps you can do sort of in the beginning of the process. Oh, I thought I could cut that corner, but a little bit too tight. All right, let's line this up like so. Yeah, I think just mowing this will end us at about the same time that that the other fields are wrapping up too, and so we'll be able to just kind of park up all the equipment and sleep till October, and that feels good to me. We'll come back and TED this next month in October, and then get this baled up and plant that next field, and then we'll be ready to kind of buckle in for the winter. Buckle in, that is a weird thing to say. Buckle down, I think, is the right term, where you batten down the hatches or you buckle everything up to get ready for a big rainstorm. I suppose you could use that on a farm, but buckle in, that was weird. Strap in, folks, we're getting ready for a winter. Yeah, I don't know. So regardless, I appreciate you guys watching and coming back and checking this series out. I'm having a lot of fun on this one. It is different, certainly, than the flour mill series. It is still, the flour mill is interesting because it's in the Swiss Alps and you can see the mountains all around and it's beautiful, but our fields are very flat, which is fine. And we started from scratch. So I know we just got cows in that series as well, but we have like 15 cows because we're just trying to get a little bit of milk so that we can get a little bit of butter so that we can milk so we can make cakes in our bakery. Like, we don't have any interest in being a full-time rancher or having a giant herd or anything like that in that series. Where here, that is what this farm is designed for. Like, with 2 cow sheds that hold 1,000 cattle each, this map was 100% designed for cows. Now, I know if you play Erlengrot on the easy mode, it gives you a cow shed and stuff and fields to do all that there, but I didn't want to do that on Erlengrot because that's kind of what everybody does, because that's what, you know, the map was sort of designed for, I want to say. Alright, so we're going to come out and park this down there, and then we'll start getting the other equipment off the field because I saw that that was done as well. Yeah, we're done with this, so let's come back down here. And I'm starting to learn my way around this yard. It only took like 6 episodes, but it is a confusing setup. But it's nice, there's storage everywhere, which normally you don't have. Alright, so this is claiming planted. And are you claiming subsoiled? No, you've got this little, yeah. He's subsoiled up here, but we've got this little section down here that didn't get didn't get done. So we're actually going to do this, because if I had the worker do it, I'd have to have him set up on the road, which doesn't make any sense. So we're going to come do this section right here just to get us down to where it widens out here. And then we'll pick this up and line them up a little bit better here. And if I set the worker on this, he should be able to go down and back while we're parking up that other piece of equipment. And I can already tell we didn't plant right there, but maybe that's okay just because of the tree. That's not too hard. We can just drop down and get this done real quick. So that is a terrible view. Is that better? Trying to get that tree out of there. So we'll drop that down, turn this on, and we'll plant this. Oh, it's because he didn't subsoil here. Well, I think that's the rest of the field is done then. And we could have really used a weight on the front of this for planting. So we're actually, since we found that other weight, let's run up there and grab that. And we used about half of our seed, because we're down to 49%. But that next field that we're going to do is a little bit bigger. So if I remember, we will refill the seed before we go to plant that barley. In fact, I'm going to switch it to barley now, just so I don't make that mistake next month. And we'll come up here. And nope. Why am I confused? Is there another one? Yeah, there is another shed right here. It's like, I know I saw it. Yeah, this thing turns heavy with this whole harrow cedar set up on the back. So getting that weight on the front ought to help this considerably. And I don't really know where to park this either, because it's just got to go back down to those fields where we were. So I guess for now we'll just pull it under here with the harvester. And that takes us to this. How did we do? So we just missed a tiny little strip there, and we missed like 2 sections at the bottom. Since we're at the bottom, let's just take a quick look, see if we can see those 2 sections. We'll clean them up right now. Yep, here's one. And where's the other one? Oh, it's the trees. Yeah, the trees set these guys off. I guess maybe I should have done a headland at the bottom just to make sure he would get all of that. Alright, and this one does have a weight on the front, which makes sense because this is our smallest tractor, yet it's tilling up the soil for us, which is good. We're cutting across the fields. I couldn't tell where that next tree was, so we're going to take this one all the way up to the house, and we'll go ahead and sleep till October, and that will do it for the episode. But no, I'm feeling really good about that. We made good progress. We got all the fields, something done to all of them. Our animals are doing just fine. Yeah, I'm feeling good. But, oops. Wreck. Took out my little wall there. Like I said, still learning my directions around this. I thought I had it, but I was off by a turn. I forgot to make this turn here. And then if we go this way past the chickens, then we can come up the hill. Oh, look, we got some eggs. Up the hill to where we live. So, anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked it, give it that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And you can also ring that bell to get alerted every time I have a new episode up. thank you so much for watching. I'm going to cut it here, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Nope, too early. Let me switch to the next day. And because it is going to be October, we're going to go to 9, just so it's nice and bright when we wake up. And then we'll cut it to the next one. Oh, and I can hear some rain overnight. So got a little bit more rain. And there we go. So that does it. I'm going to cut it here. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.